To install a wood cornice, first determine which mounting method will be best to use for your situation. L brackets and wood mounting strips are included with each order for cornices with returns 4 inches or larger. L brackets will not be provided for cornices with returns less than 4 inches. Depending on your application, you can choose to use L brackets or wood mounting strips. Before installing, you will need a tape measure, a carpenter's level, a power drill, a stud finder, a screwdriver, and a pencil. Wood cornices are always installed as an outside mount. If the cornice is longer than 84 inches, use 2 or more installers to safely mount the cornice. If the cornice has a decorative keystone, assemble the pieces before installation, being careful not to scratch the finish. Clear a flat surface large enough to arrange the cornice pieces lengthwise. Lay the cornice pieces upside down so that they are resting on the dust cover. Slide the cam bolts into the pre-drilled holes on the keystone dust cover and use a screwdriver to rotate the locks 3/4 of a turn clockwise. Use the supplied screws to secure the cornice backing to the keystone. Before installing a cornice over layered window treatments, be sure to consider the required mounting area of the window treatments. Keep in mind if you are using L brackets mounted above the window trim, this will position the cornice up about 4 inches, plus the dust cover thickness of 3/4 inches for a total of 4 3/4 inches. To install, first measure the dimensions of the cornice and use a pencil to mark on the wall where the top and the ends of the cornice will be placed. Next, use a stud finder to locate and mark the wall studs between the cornice end marks. Using 2-inch screws, mount the first L bracket in the first stud that is 4 inches or more from the left side mark. Position the top of the L bracket 3/4 of an inch below the top mark of the cornice on the wall. This will account for the thickness of the cornice dust cover. Repeat the same process for the first stud 4 inches or more from the right side mark. Mount any remaining L brackets on studs, spaced evenly as possible, and check that they are level. Place the cornice on top of the L brackets. Align the outside edges of the cornice with the marks on the wall. Secure the dust cover to the L brackets with screws installed up through the L bracket holes. Wood mounting strips can be used as a method of installation on all cornices. This is the preferred method of installation for mantel and decorative shelves. Keep in mind if you are using wood mounting strips installed above the window trim, this will position the cornice up about 1 inch plus the dust cover thickness of 3/4 inches for a total of 1 3/4 inches. To install, first measure the dimensions of the cornice and use a pencil to mark on the wall where the top and the ends of the cornice will be placed. Next, use a stud finder to locate and mark the wall studs between the cornice end marks. Position the top of the wood mounting strip 3/4 of an inch below the top mark of the cornice on the wall. This will account for the thickness of the cornice dust cover. Center the mounting strip between the 2 end marks and mark on the wall the 2 end points of the mounting strip. Mark on the mounting strip where the studs are located. Pre-drill holes through the mounting strips at the marked stud locations. Next, attach the mounting strips to the studs using the screws provided. Attach the cornice to the mounting strip with screws, either driving the screws down through the dust cover or up through the mounting strip. To drive screws down through the dust cover, first place the cornice on top of the wood mounting strips and align the outside edges of the cornice with the marks on the wall. Mark the screw locations on the dust cover 1/2 inch from the back edge and 12 to 18 inches apart. Be careful to avoid the stud locations previously marked, which also line up with the wood strip mounting screws. Drill pilot holes down through the dust cover at the marked locations. Place the cornice back on top of the mounting strips and drive the screws down through the pilot holes in the dust cover into the mounting strips. Or, to drive screws up through the wood mounting strips, first mark the screw locations on the mounting strip 12 to 18 inches apart. Again, be careful to avoid the locations of the wood strip mounting screws. Drill pilot holes through the center of the mounting strip at the marked locations. Place the cornice on top of the mounting strips and drive screws up through the pilot holes in the mounting strips into the dust cover. To install a cornice as a mantel or decorative shelf, follow the same steps previously demonstrated for installation with wood mounting strips. To attach the cornice to the wood mounting strips, however, drill pilot holes and use finishing nails. Use a nail set to sink the nail below the surface of the wood on the dust cover. Use a wood putty stick that is color matched to the finish of the shelf to fill in the nail holes.